And welcome to another edition of Channeling Sessions with Starseed Lø Lø. This is the first one of March, and a quick heads up that due to the amount of weeks in March, there will be 3 this month, so be sure to keep your eyes out for that. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Laura Ferguson, aka Starseed Lø Lø.
Hi, everyone. I'm ready, if you are.
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. The Pleiadians and Sirian reptiles are here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What would you like to share with us today?
First and foremost, the Sirian reptoids or reptilians are in the caves in another dimension under what you would call Syria.
Welcome to our realm.
Thank you. We do watch and have access to, since we're upper 4th dimensional beings, upper 4th density. Today, us with the Pleiadians want to speak about the Orion Wars. The Orion Wars were an experience that many starseeds have had in many iterations for what you know as 2 million years ago, roughly, in linear time. However, everything is in the present moment, here and now. That is just a point perspective for you.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
What can you share with us about the Orion Wars?
It is consciousness, experience itself, and potential energy. The Orion constellation has upwards of over 100 planets and even hundreds of moons. Most of those planets do have complex life, nearly 84 plus and counting. Therefore, Orion is very important in the awakening of human history in this version of Gaia. That is one reason why you see it in archaeoastronomy, such as pyramids, buildings, rock formations, and more.
Do you have connections with Antarctica?
We do, as far as a base, you mean?
Yes.
There's an active base there under the ice, tunneled with technology. It's roughly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Therefore, the SSP and the Vatican, prior to that, for thousands of years, have had access to the Antarctica portal. There's also pyramids under the ice, which is from pre-Diluvian time, circa prior to 11,500 years ago BC.
Wow, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
If I may ask for purely reference, what role was your cultures in the Orion Wars?
Fighting affection of Draconians who worked with affection of Greys and Greys whom our AI is.
Well, we thank you for your role in that.
You're welcome, as you were there as well.
Yes, and I'm curious if our paths ever crossed.
They sure did. We were both in the Pleiadian factions and the Syrian factions and many more insectoids even.
Are you playing a role in awakening those star seeds and hybrids and those in the SSP that were a part of the Orion Wars?
Yes, since your veil is thinning and this is a reality you starseeds have chosen, you're remembering these memories. They are real experiences.
I'm curious, since you have a base in Antarctica and are under Syria currently, where would you call home?
Source. We are from nowhere and everywhere. Ultimately, we are source, all from source. That is our home. Roughly 98% of your consciousness is still on the other side, as you say. Roughly 2% of your energy is concentrated here.
Wow, thank you for that.
Welcome.
Are you here sharing the Orion Wars with us? And because of what's happening right now in our world, to prevent it from occurring again? Or are you just sharing information to make everyone aware what happened in history?
The latter. Awareness. Awareness in the starseed beings whom we like to remember and do remember and feel they are space warriors. Cannot explain why, when, or how. As their frequencies raise higher and higher and higher, their veil is thinner and thinner and thinner. Therefore, your recall is like the movie Total Recall.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As you mentioned earlier, you said that you've been watching this. Is there any part in our history that was like your favorite time, or that you saw us as our best potential?
For America?
For America and for the world.
Revolutionary War, 1775-ish timeframes, was a large reset for what you call America, which is just an idea. Also, globally, in December 21st of 2012, there was a large shift, which has allowed many more star beings, starseed beings, soul fractals to do more. All you have to do is just exist, and you already do. All you have to do beyond that is keep your frequency high. One star seed can affect positively 1 million negative beings on Gaia, like a wave.
Wow, thank you for that. That's amazing news.
It is.
Do you have a message for Laura and or I?
We kept telling her Syrians, and she didn't want to say it because it sounded too simple. And right now we told her we're reptilians. Gaia, reptilians. And she's finally saying what we are. Much like the insectoids, we live underground in caves and have our own cities and technologies. We are from Gaia, such as yourselves. And we work a lot with the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are like your distant cousins as far as your podcasting show. You and her are perpetuating love and light to the masses in a frequency that is eternal.
Well, that is our goal.
It is felt.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm curious with your work in, helping us remember our past. Is there anything that we can do to assist you in completing that task and that mission with you?
Follow your highest passion. Stay in creator mode. However, whenever you desire to create moment to moment, this keeps your frequency very high without any expectations of the outcome. It is as simple as that, my son.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You mentioned living in caves and such. Is that what we would consider here on where we are in our realm, the inner earth realm?
Yes, Leonardo da Vinci visited us because his frequency was so high from being an inventor 99.9999999% of the time. Therefore, he shapeshifted in inner earth
Is that where he got the insight and information for the Vitruvian Man and the helicopters?
Yes, and many more, such as a tank and other flying machines. They said he was missing for something like 2 years. For him, it was 5 minutes, because our reality works different, and our experience of time and our bodies are different and much faster.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As you mentioned watching history, I wonder what you thought of the time we consider of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Was that a reality here, or is that just something that was written in a book and people have taken to believing it to be real?
Neither. King Arthur is just an energy from a parallel dimension, parallel version of Earth. However, Merlin was real in this dimension. He was a keeper of great wisdom that unfortunately, in this version, was burned down in the Library of Alexandria. And some of those scrolls that were taken are in the vault of the Vatican cabal.
Do you feel those will ever be released to the public, or are they going to be lost to history?
Just like the library in the Sphinx, it does not matter, because you have it within you. The magic, the knowledge, the wisdom is slowly being uncovered nonetheless. Therefore, it's a moot point.
Thank you.
Welcome.
There's a lot of talk right now with our moon, and that it's visible sometimes during the day and sometimes it's not. What can you tell us about our moon?
It's a holographic object. Therefore, tonight there is a blood lunar eclipse. That is because it is not organic. However, it is needed for this version of Gaia after the 11,500 cataclysm to stabilize the oceans. We would also like to add that the moon cycle calendar, 360-day years, 28 days, months, is the accurate calendar. Hence, why your charts are off roughly 70 degrees, and you have ridiculous things such as leap year and so on.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Can you share more of what the impact and energy to be expected from the blood moon?
Brotherhood, sisterhood, blood. Your family can be your soul family. And actually, your blood can be thy enemy. At times, if you choose your family this way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a curious question for you, if I may ask.
Okay. Pleiadians are on standby to answer.
Is there a significance to the blood moon happening just as we enter the year of the fire horse?
Only because you say it is in your consciousness within the collective. Only because you say it is. There are immense changes within, which reflect without in the collective. Therefore, fire is cleansing. And in order to have the new, we have to burn down the old.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I understand, like, our version of time is our own construct and own reality. When you enter our reality, do you take on our time, or do you stay in your design and perception of time?
If we jump in your reality and use a cloak or cloaking device to look different or be invisible, as you say, we experience time as you do temporarily.
What is something you might be able to do to help us to break free of our being locked into this program of time as we know it?
The future, the past do not exist. Only the present moment. The present moment is all that matters. Simple as that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Since the Orion Wars have ended, or so we feel they have ended, I'm not quite so sure about that right now, but have you given up space travel and been staying here with us, or do you still continue to do space travel?
Both. Since we are in the thousands, depending on our desire, we can do both. I am speaking as a commander, and I've done both. This is Assyrian. The Pleiadians, same. Except for the Earth Pleiadians are no longer here and were wiped out with Atlantis destruction, Tiamat being blown up.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Being in what we consider inner Earth and being on our Earth realm, so to speak, how different is it when you interact with your fellow space travelers? Is there a big difference, or do you still remain the same and you're blocked from aging or changing as we do due to the Earth time that we live in?
when we are dimensional traveling.
Yes.
We age very little. It also depends if we shapeshift to have a body within that reality. If we shapeshift to cloak, it would take years for us to age a little in the perspective. Therefore, we live hundreds of years. And I have personally watched and been in the Revolutionary War.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I was cloaked to be human.
We are approaching the time limit for today, and since you were at the Revolutionary War, I do have one question for you that has been interesting to me and a friend of mine, and that is, were you or do you know who visited George Washington that helped at Valley Forge and brought about a change in the army and brought about our freedom?
Yes, Abraham Lincoln, another version of him as a fractal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help?
It does, and I think you will find that information very interesting.
Yes. He is very special. And he is telling us he loves America still. And he's laughing.
I think I know why.
You know why he's laughing?
Yes.
Why is that?
Oh, with what's going on in our country today, that I don't think any of our founding fathers ever thought we would ever be having what's going on in our country right now.
He says no. However, he says stick around a few decades. It's going to be a whole new world, kid.
Oh, well, thank you. And maybe later on he can share with me what he was laughing about then.
He was laughing about the cherry tree story.
Oh, yes.
With Washington. He said something like that. Doesn't matter. And the things they put in history books are ludicrous.
I can agree with that. Well, thank you for your time and your energy, and we have about a minute left. Is there anything left that you would really feel like you need to share with us? Or if not, please be welcome to bring Laura back.
We appreciate and love you unconditionally and appreciate your hospitality with reptilians. We love you very much. Goodbye for now.
We love you as well, and you're always welcome. And safe travels.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting information came through.
I'm speechless.
I am too, actually. And so, is there anything you want to say to everyone before we end the feed and get ready for our return in 2 weeks?
Not really, other than the fact I'm a little shocked that Lincoln came through. And that's pretty much it.
I know exactly how you feel about that. Kind of, yeah. Well, thank you, Laura, for doing this with us and sharing your gifts with us. And thank you so much.
You're welcome, Michael. And I look forward to next time.
Yes, we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Until then, have a wonderful day and enjoy your week and live each day with the fullness of hope.
Exactly. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.